Coming to you live from the Royal Detective Society. This is Optimal Play. I'm Brandon.
I'm Steven.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jordan.
And we are here to play Here Lies, a game of, I guess, not quite solving crimes, a game of telling each other stories about the crimes that we've solved, and then trying to one-up each other along the way. Cooperatively?
Right.
So boasting.
The theme of this game is that we are each a detective at the Royal Detective Society, and we're bragging about cases we've solved, and saying, to the other detectives, can you solve this one? And so, in this case, I'm Catherine Warren, PI. I'm the lead investigator, and I'm telling a story about a case that I have solved in the past. And these three are other detectives who are going to try and use their various skills to solve the case.
We are almost like interjecting in your story, being like, oh, I know where this is going.
That's right. Write 3 words on this card.
And we play on this cool, with this cool, like, cloth mat with a anatomy, like a very biology class looking skeleton on it, right? Where things might be drawn or pointed to or whatever. And ultimately we are trying to, we off camera learned this on like the first tutorial case. Now we need to correctly identify 6 aspects of the story. Am I understanding this right?
That is correct. You need to find out the identity of the victim, the secret, the foe's identity, an object, a weapon, and a cause.
Whoa.
All right.
Whereas last time we had weapon and cause.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have 6 time over 3 rounds to do it. Time is the resource that you will cooperatively be spending to play your various cards, which, from what I can tell, cost between 1 and 3 time.
All the cards I saw did, yeah.
And you'll have 4 cards each in your hand. But at the start of the case, I'm going to read a little bit of flavor text, and I'm going to give you one piece of key evidence. We should say, here lies Big Tim, and it is 1881.
Big Tim. I love that guy.
And this is a bit of conversation from the meeting of the Royal Detective Society. I can tell you are intrigued, said Mrs. Warren. That's me. I am, said Sherlock. He had not been properly challenged in some time, but he was not truly challenged yet. He looked at the mortician, who continued to keep to herself. How about this, said Miss Warren. I have one, not too far back, out in the West Territories. My aunt's protege solved it at the time. Okay, go ahead, said Sherlock. A cowboy's tale it is. It is, in a sense, but even scoundrels' tales have twists, said Miss Warren. But you may need help. And so you have 2 allies who have come into play, Di Renji and Rushid Avero. These 2 allies are here to help you solve this mystery.
Wonderful.
No one saw that?
No one saw it, right?
Right.
Okay, otherwise we can play a different case. All right, and so I'm going to give you a bit of key evidence.
I was going to say, that was it?
Here. Yeah.
Was there a...
It's just a Western cowboy tale. And
that's all the information
maybe
you have?
a scoundrel.
Did someone die?
We would assume so.
Yeah, Big Tim.
Big Tim.
Okay.
Big Tim is here lies.
That's not a lot to go on. Okay. Or is it?
I think it's something.
Yeah.
And
Feels like he's a anti-cowboy, a scoundrel cowboy.
One on the weapons section, they all list kind of examples. One of them is piano. That could definitely be a Western.
The piano falls.
Player piano falls. On
I was gonna say it feels more like Tom and Jerry than actual Western.
Our first key evidence is torn fibers.
Ugh.
And
Wish that meant more to me.
wow, we got so little story here. We have to figure out the secret that was part of this story.
There is some helpful text here.
Yeah.
So under identity it says the job, title, or reputation of the deceased subject. And then secret says a critical thing about the subject's life they kept hidden. So it is a secret held by the decedent.
Mm-hmm.
The subject always refers to the person who died.
Yes,
okay.
exactly.
And then the foe is who kills them.
The enemy
presumably.
or killer as through relationship, job, or reputation.
Mother,
And then
boyfriend, jobs.
Object, something of importance that has value, use, or great impact. Mm-hmm. Weapon, the tool, object, or creature I just saw that part. Or creature that caused the death, and cause the injury or method of death. Okay.
All right, so we have 6 time.
There's 6 time to spend.
And before we start spending it, let me suggest that you spend the time to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. We don't have a Patreon or anything. It's the only way to help us out, so we appreciate when you do. With that, Anyone have any leads?
I have a quick one. A matter of imagination, only costs 1. Lead investigator makes a drawing on the back of this card with a single line that doesn't touch itself, and then the lead investigator places it.
I like it. You said that's one
Yeah,
time.
it's only 1.
That seems good. Yeah, draw us a piano with one line.
Oh, can't do that.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, so while he draws, at least, and correct me if my understanding is wrong, but the solution to this is presented in the form of a story, and sometimes the cards refer to the story. They're talking about the solution, and the actual keywords that we're trying to identify that go with these 6 concepts are underlined. And Jordan, who is the lead investigator telling this story, he can never actually use those underlined words and phrases in his clues, whether that means drawing them or writing them or anything. So we know, for example, that torn fibers is not the weapon, because that would never appear on the table.
And if he draws a bowling ball, we know it definitely isn't a bowling ball.
Right. Maybe we should just keep saying random things, because at the end of each of the 3 rounds, Jordan is going to put a check mark, an X, or a yellow token that means close on each of these categories, depending on whether we have said that thing that round.
Out loud.
So he has to be, hopefully while he's drawing, he's carefully listening as I list the following weapons. Axe.
I feel like if it's Old West,
Yeah, like
if it's Old
musket.
West, the death could be related to like cards or gambling.
Ooh,
I like that.
okay.
Drinking, alcohol.
Yeah, whiskey.
Yeah, that would be maybe, also like what would, I guess, cards would
Syphilis,
be maybe...
like a venereal disease.
Cards would probably not be like the weapon or
be
the
an
cause,
object.
but
It
the
could be
object.
Yeah, it could be an important object.
Could be something like that.
Cheating.
Cause cheating.
Yeah.
That's the injury
Or-
or method
or
of
it could
death.
be the
that could be the secret.
It could be
That
the
they're-
secret.
that they're cheating at poker.
They're cheating in
Yeah.
poker, or they're cheating on their spouse.
Yeah.
Cheating.
Well, that's not
true.
like a
Works
classic
both.
Old West thing.
No,
That's more
they
Downton Abbey,
they
yeah,
know
like-
that
Oh,
they're cheating.
Okay. I think that this is actually really good, and he's put it. You've placed it next to identity.
I have.
Like that was an intentional placing. Okay. That to me looks like a bag of money. Are you seeing that too?
I do see that. For the S,
Yeah.
would normally have a.
But he had to
a
draw
strike.
one line,
Yeah.
right, that did not cross over itself. So
Yeah, it seems right.
it sounds like maybe a bank robbery
robber.
situation or something. Although it's by identity as opposed to secret or object, and so
Then it could be bank
It's
robber.
reputation. It's thief.
yeah,
Yeah, bank robber would be. It's like their occupation. So
Or
bank
maybe,
robber.
or maybe Big Tim was just a bank teller.
Or
He's not handing the bags of money to people making withdrawals.
He is a scoundrel in the way that he very quickly gives up the money from the bank to all the thieves.
Oh yeah, did we learn that he was a scoundrel? Was that in the intro? Did we learn
They-
anything about Big Tim?
They did say. We said something about being out west. If you want to just clarify, I don't need
It
to
says,
do my recollection.
Sherlock said, "A cowboy's tale it is," and Catherine Warren responded, "It is in a sense, but even scoundrels' tales have twists."
yeah.
So we know there's twists. Okay.
So like, what's that? A lemon, like the rind of a lemon.
Right. So we're talking about like
Martinis.
Yeah.
we're talking about like a martini. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. So alcohol is definitely involved. There's a twist.
So the
I still haven't like read any of my cards. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've just been shooting the shit this whole time.
I have a card that I think is pretty broadly useful, like we could use right now, which is whatever impossible. It costs us 2 time, and it says the lead investigator chooses a word from the story that is not underlined, writes it on the back of this card, and places it. Does that seem like a good idea? Like because if it's a word like robbery or something, that's pretty
I
valuable.
feel like it's probably better when we have a clearer picture of what he thinks we might be going after.
But it's in my hand now.
But it could be in your hand later as well.
That's true. Okay. Well, do you have any?
I have some
any other
like
bright ideas?
I mean, I have some juicy 3s in my hand, which
Ooh.
I feel like are always fun. I haven't read them yet, but I will right now. So, scuttled plans. Either the lead investigator invents either the next place the subject would have gone or the next action they would have taken. They write a single word related to either on the back of this card and label it accordingly. Weird. Next place or next action. That feels like, again, kind of better when I know a little bit more. And then marks of the lives lived. The life lived. Lead investigator writes down 2 words from the back of this card on 2 mini cards and then places them.
Wait, 2 of the words? So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
like a menu
There's
of
a
them?
menu.
Oh, okay.
Fighting,
Oh.
fixing.
Sneaking,
Catching.
eating, flying, catching, writing, watching, swimming, breaking, building,
You're down with
riding.
that one.
That one seems decent.
Or is it almost like too obvious? Is it definitely going to be like fighting, and
Riding.
sneaking, or something, right?
Riding horse.
right. Yeah, I wonder if that's actually given that we know it's a Wild West story. Like how many? It's. I don't think it's going to be riding or eating or flying or like. I don't know.
I don't know. But I'm just going to start continuing to read my cards.
Great concept.
I think what you were saying about these being good later, I think that's going to be kind of true if you
For
think about it
all of
on
them.
every single card.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
everything is going to seem more powerful when you're so close to getting it and you just need one more thing. But that's not the reality yet. We'll be there. By round 2, I'm sure. We'll be
have
on
it.
the brink.
Yeah.
I also have, actually, I didn't realize I had this one in my hand for 3. It's an expensive one, but the game is afoot. The lead investigator invents a title for this case by adding up to 3 words to the back of this card.
I love it.
The case
Yeah,
of
let's do
the
that.
Black
Yeah,
Flag.
that's great.
That feels like
That feels like an early great.
early good one. Okay, so let's do it. So spending 3 time for the game is afoot. Lead investigator, please give your story of this case a title. The case of the what.
Okay, and recall that I'm not allowed to use the
Yep.
actual answers.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
That is something we know very well.
Yeah.
We never forget.
I saw.
Can you use the antonyms? Like the opposite things? The very safe, honest.
What's the opposite of like? The thing's not everything has opposites.
No, I know, but
Like, what's the opposite of a gun?
Squirt gun.
I was gonna say it could just be like the case of the definitely not. The opposite of.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know.
He's gonna take a second here. Have you read the solution?
Yeah, I must. I have to, like, before I
Yeah.
do anything. I'm wondering, actually, if these cases have, like, they've thought of names, and they're like, ideally, this will be named this, and I'm like, but I shouldn't even bother thinking about that. I have to just
Yeah.
say something that will be useful. Okay, the case of this, 3 words, right?
Three
Three
words.
words.
Okay.
Case of the something. And while he thinks of that, I also have this 2-time evidence on the black market. All investigators participate in writing 3 handheld objects on 3 mini cards. The lead investigator places one of them and erases the rest. So if we wanted to, like,
You're drawing them, is it, or writing?
just writing them.
Okay.
So we could be like gun,
Yeah,
like a flask. I don't know, Wild
know
Westy things.
That's-
That feels pretty good.
that is pretty good. I like that one. Yeah. How much time was that? 2.
2.
We have
Yeah.
enough time.
Okay. Yeah. We can.
Yeah, so we can-
start.
we can
start
kind of
our,
do it while-
start our writing. Yeah.
We don't have.
Oh, yeah, there's another pen here.
Oh, we're sharing a pen.
It's just
Alright.
3 total cards.
Oh, it's not 2 each.
No.
Oh, I thought.
It says in writing 3 handheld objects on 3 mini cards.
All right. All right cards.
I bumped this. I'm straightening it. There we go. You wrote cards. Okay.
I'm just trying to think of like, maybe like badge.
They have to be handheld items. We said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Handheld items. Yeah, like maybe badge.
So I couldn't write something like bartender, which would be right.
Shot glass.
That's not bad.
Shot glass. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're trying to get to bartender.
Or
that's-
just like, or
or like
just maybe
or
just,
like
maybe just
whiskey
glass.
bottles.
Yeah.
What do you think of badge for maybe like the sheriff or
That's pretty good.
a police
I
type?
think badge is good.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you drop something? You were looking at the floor.
Yeah, I think I dropped one.
Oh, I see a
You
card.
see it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is.
There you go. If I could see the pen, and then, one more handheld
That's our
item
last time.
in the West. What about
I mean, like pistol is a pretty easy one.
That's
but
no fun.
That's no fun. I agree.
Lasso.
I love it. I mean, you could just say rope.
Okay.
Bound
the
rat.
case of the bound rat.
Rope feels really
Maybe
good now.
I should switch
Yeah.
this to. Well, actually, maybe we should leave it as lasso. Maybe rope is almost too obvious.
Yeah.
Maybe we know rope,
Okay, sure.
but
So what's this card that you guys have played?
So we just played Evidence on the Black Market, where all investigators participate in writing 3 handheld objects on 3 mini cards, and then the lead investigator picks one of them to place and then erases the rest.
So,
One of them to place and erases the rest.
so we've written for you.
Actually, I'm gonna change mine based on
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So give me this. I'm gonna do instead of cards. I'm gonna do coins. Or do they? I feel like,
coins.
or money? Would money be a handheld object?
Sure.
I think money's a handheld
Okay.
object. Yeah.
I'll say money.
We already have a bag of money.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I just wonder if it's kind of redundant.
But he gets
Right.
to place it in a certain place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a critical thing about the subject's life they've kept hidden. And parents, lover. I was like, there's no way to get that out of the handheld. Probably. Unless maybe badge. Like maybe
So
his,
what I'm
his
thinking-
lover is.
It
what I'm
could be
thinking-
like you could. The handheld object could be like love letter.
So the thing is, I
You
think,
wanted to
I think,
test for
I
that,
think
right?
Big Tim was killed because he like ratted on the other robbers. So like
Bound rat.
that's why.
Yeah,
for
I
money, like,
agree.
His secret or something is that he.
Right, we were so ready for the next one we didn't talk much about bound rat, but and we said like, well, bound sounds
Okay,
like it.
so
But
lasso.
lasso pointing to
Pointing
weapon.
a weapon.
That's
Alright.
pretty good.
That makes sense.
And so this could be literally the
Actually,
weapon.
this is incorrect. I'm sorry. 1 second.
Wait. Okay.
Holding.
Oh,
Wait, I have to remember.
he's checking the story. Okay.
checking the story.
So because we
this
wrote
is
this,
correct. I meant to.
okay, you meant it to be objects.
Something of
All right.
importance. Okay, so he was tied up, but
Yeah.
he was not killed by the word.
Yeah.
Presumably, yeah. Yeah, and so because we wrote this, in this case, this could be something on the table that is an underlined word, huh?
So it's up to 3 words, I
Oh.
assume, right? Because bound rat is only 2.
It is up to 3. I just
up to 3,
wasn't
yeah.
sure what a third.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I could have done something that
That's
was like
all of our time.
wouldn't have made a good title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another clue, but I was like, I don't know. This is,
That is all of our time. So
All right.
what's next?
it's the check phase.
So we should use.
I think-
Don't we?
So if available,
Oh, no,
you use an
inquiry
ally.
phase.
Oh, inquiry. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Finishing inquiry first.
oh yeah. Okay. So I will do the following. I will go here.
Fellow bank robbers.
Okay, we've said the
I
object.
will say this. I will say this.
We're close on to having said the secret.
I will
Mostly just talked about
say-
love letters.
Yeah. Unless
Unless dead parents.
robber or something is along those lines.
No, I think
too,
like
right? But
that he was.
foe's
or-
identity, weapon, cause. Okay. And we talked about a badge and a sheriff and stuff, right? So it sounds
Yeah.
like that we've kind of ruled that out as the foe.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So that's good.
I
We
think
haven't
you're
gotten the
right.
weapon or the cause.
Bound
Okay.
rat really does point on like he's the rat, right? So he's like the
Yeah.
foe is probably fellow criminals.
Yeah.
That yes, agreed. Okay. So
I don't know if we said that out loud or not.
we
but-
got the identity.
Oh, it could have
so-
been one of those like bound to the train track type Old West things.
Oh,
So that the
like
weapon would be
train.
train. The object would be
pretty
lasso,
good.
but the
All right.
weapon is train.
That's
rules question.
Yeah.
Is we haven't actually finished the check phase. Is what we're saying now applying to the next round?
I
yet?
wasn't, but I can. I guess I should actually wait to do this until you guys are done. So why
Well,
don't
no,
you
no,
guys...
no,
Well, no,
no,
no.
This is after the inquiry phase.
we're
Yeah,
just
this
saying.
is-
We're just
oh,
saying.
sorry.
What we're
Yeah.
saying
If we
now.
want you to check train, we should say it again after the check phase.
So
I
what
guess.
exactly happens in the check phase? Is all that's happening us using allies if we
You
want
can
to?
use an ally. No, that's actually when I put these tokens down. Is the
Oh,
check
okay.
phase. It's not part of the inquiry phase.
Oh,
I know it's under this, but you know.
yeah. That's,
So actually, you guys could have used an ally before. So you guys want me to wait on this,
So the time to use an ally is
or
before
did I
you
use
do
that
that?
too much
It
information?
doesn't. We're just going to use
Yeah,
this
I
ally,
think
which
don't take
doesn't.
anything.
It doesn't
Yeah.
affect
Okay.
anything.
Yeah. So tell us about the ally we're using.
D. Renji, the judge, the lead investigator, up to 3 times before the end of the game can announce the word wrong.
All right. So we'll just like pass that to Jordan. Jordan can like.
probably following anything that we say that is really wrong.
Yeah.
I think like all the components in this game except for this cloth skeleton are dry erase. So you could probably just put marks right on that card to track it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
That's pretty
Jordan
fun.
can anytime now interject
Yeah.
wrong.
All right. So
I love that.
That's pretty good.
I
So-
think it's
Use it well.
So it seems like we were spot on when we said that he was a bank teller.
or big robber.
That was so good. The commitment to that. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Maybe they have an agreement with the bank robber.
And we're at the top of a round where he's giving us a new piece of key evidence.
And I'm actually giving you both because that's Catherine Warren's ability.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
okay.
both what? Both key.
Reveal an additional key evidence in
In
the
the
second
second
round.
Oh, in the second round specifically.
All right. So I got to say both of these two things.
A local timetable and a governor's pardon.
Right.
So that's even more evidence that this is a person's a rat, that they were offered a pardon to give up the other criminals.
Agreed. And then I think a local timetable points to the theory. Which of you brought up the train?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, there's two possibilities.
Time-
It could either be the time that the train hits him because he's tied to the tracks, or it could be that they robbed a pay carriage and they knew when the time it was going to go by.
that's true. Yeah, I guess that's true. They could be, but we've only really talked about bank robbing, and we got the idea.
But it could be like a carrot. Like he
so I
knew
don't-
the
I don't really think
time
that
that
they're
the
like-
bank was going to be like the money was going to be taken
Yeah.
from the bank or something like that.
I think you might be overcomplicating.
But yeah, it could
Yeah.
just be the train.
And then we talked about the secret being close. Maybe it's like an informant.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
don't
how they
think
got
we
the
said
government.
that word.
Yeah.
We said like
agreed.
rat, but that's close, but not quite like the informant to the governor or whatever it was.
So we're still not all the way there on Foe's identity. We think it's someone else in this criminal
Yeah, some sort of
enterprise,
criminal
but
grand
we don't
gang.
know really.
And,
And
it is through relationship, job, or reputation.
Could be their mother.
So then we think
Their mother.
the going theory
Could
right
be
now.
a family, like mob family.
Sure. Yeah. So the going kind of theory right now is the weapon is train and the cause is run over. Right?
Blunt force trauma. If you will. Oh,
Okay.
goodness.
I'm a little disappointed we haven't used the skeleton yet. Is there anything we can do to make him draw?
We don't have the
draw train tracks
okay,
on
all
someone's
right, hold
chest?
on. Hold on.
train
We can
tracks
draw some
on
train
it.
tracks. All investigators, if we want to do this, time.
Oh.
All investigators participate in creating the 3 drawings on 3 mini cards. The lead investigator places any of them and erases the rest.
The gallery of possibilities. We could draw 3 different things. We could draw a
We could draw
train
9
rolling
things
over someone.
total, right? Or
I think no. It's like
No,
as a
three.
group we
Yeah,
create
collective.
three, Yeah. So yeah, someone should draw like a train on tracks running over some,
Yeah.
or like heading towards someone.
Yeah.
What other 2 things would we draw to?
Um,
I mean, on the other hand, he only can choose one and can't say anything.
No,
about
no,
the
it
others,
says.
so-
It's
well, we
many.
could draw. We could
I can
places any of them.
Yes.
I
It's not
read
like
that
you
as
could try
to
any.
draw
I read that as any one of
a
them.
bank.
You
I
think
don't
it could
know
be
how-
as many as possible?
So if you think you can draw a bank and have it be distinguishable from like a just regular building,
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, I'm like, if we just gonna go through this round and say the train and the tracks, and we find that that is the correct weapon, maybe that's enough. And we
Yeah.
need to spend time
Maybe,
on it.
maybe we. That's
We focus
true.
on something
Yeah.
else.
yeah. Well, who else has a card to buy?
We haven't thought really at all about the torn fibers. I know it was the first key evidence, which is not going to be the silver bullet, but is there any way to use that in
I mean,
things we've
is
thought about
torn
already?
fibers just like the rope that got torn when the train went through it?
Could be.
Like
Maybe.
fibers are like usually clothing.
Yeah, it could be fibers of a rope.
Yeah.
Torn fibers is just a weird thing to talk about, like finding the crime scene of a train running over someone.
You see, the torn fibers clearly they were torn.
Like the fact that
I
they
mean,
are
like, you could
splattered
say-
over a train track didn't narrow down what happened, but that bow tie shredded. That looks like
But
a
I
train.
mean, like, you could, if you see a body that gets hit by a train, there's 2 ways that they get hit by a train. 1, they jump in front of a train and commit suicide, or 2, they're tied to the tracks, and the torn fibers are the
All
difference
right.
of that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Um,
Okay, and a governor's pardon being, I don't know how much to read into the fact this is key evidence, meaning like this happened, right? This was evidence that the actual solver found. Meaning,
Yeah.
So Big Tim presumably was pardoned,
yeah.
and then
was killed.
Yeah. So like he ratted out people who presumably robbed banks with
The
him.
mafiosa.
Yeah, he got pardoned. They got arrested, but someone who wasn't arrested threw him onto the train tracks. I don't know. Okay. I'm still not opposed to doing the picture drawing thing, other than having to draw. I still have that one that lets the lead investigator choose a word from the story that's not underlined and give it to us. I have a fun one that when we were learning this, this was fun. I guess you'll do. The lead investigator places this card face down. So face down, it's an arrow pointing at the investigator who's doing the best. The lead investigator can choose to point the card at nobody, and it repeats at the end of each round, meaning we would get 2 total
let's
uses
just
out
play
of
that
it.
now. We get 3 uses. We get it now and at the end of the round.
Oh,
and at the end of
3
next
uses
round.
now and at the end of each of the next rounds. That's right.
Yeah.
That seems good.
Well,
Should we do it?
but have
Work
we
one
done
time?
enough this round to warrant it?
Yeah, and are we too much on the same page?
Yeah.
Like, we've disagreed very little.
Yeah.
So actually, maybe that's not that useful, right?
But right now, at least, I have contemplations, which is interesting. The investigator writes 3 words on the back of this card. The lead investigator erases any letters they want and then places it.
Any
You
le-
place it.
and then I place
So
it.
you write the words, I erase letters, and then you put it down.
Yeah, do it.
And I have something
what?
that combos with this too. So I also have another card for one time that allows the lead investigator to move any card's place. So if I place it wrong, he can move it to the right place.
Is there any way to game this? Is there some word that has like? I'm trying to think.
It means 3 words. So you could put like
Yeah,
a ton of letters out there.
I'm just thinking about like what are like some compound words that kind of give him like 2 options to erase one half and leave the other half, right? Like train track, or maybe that's not actually a compound word, but I don't know.
I'm contemplating this one.
Oh,
Okay.
Restrain can become train. Although the
pretty
problem
good.
is
That's
that
pretty
what
good.
if it's
That's what I'm
never
talking about.
restrained
Yeah.
on a train? How would you guess?
And he doesn't get to place it. So like
But, like,
what's the way that we learn something new from this?
But that's what I'm saying is I also have a card that we can later place.
Yeah.
I think.
All right,
move-
why don't just
All right, I think we do it, but we
Okay.
need to think of 3 words
3
to write
words.
on the back of this card. Restrain,
Okay.
I think, is great, considering it
Yeah.
has so many like restrain just in general, and then also erasing the words in restrain.
I'm trying to think if there's anything to like basically just use the English language to game this.
I know, but
like
that's
I'm thinking of
crazy.
like the word enlist is like the word that is the anagram for the most other words, like listen and silent and eyelet, and like I'm just trying to think if there's any other like that's not directly applicable, but are there any kind of like language hacks that can give him like the ability to spell anything he wants?
I'm sure.
is what I'm
sure.
trying to think of.
Actually, listen is the word that's the anagram for the most other words.
Can't you just choose any one of those? I learned that whole thing.
I like
from Survivor.
restrain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right, that whole thing. Oh, so you Googled it afterwards?
It was mentioned on a podcast.
Oh, it was? That's
Yeah.
good.
Is that how to spell it?
Yeah.
Restrain.
Last week's episode was great.
Restrain. Okay, yeah.
I like that.
Last week's episode was great.
So
yeah.
good. I can't wait for Wednesday. Season finale.
That's right. It's a regular one-off finale, right? Not the 2-parter like they did last season.
I think so.
I think so. So just a 3-hour. Just a
Super
chill 3 hours.
califragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, there we
sword.
go. Just giving it every letter. Okay, so we've got restrain. What about like something with informing or like something along those lines?
Database is 2 different words.
Firearm, like
Firearm is actually pretty good because if you erase fire or arm, you get a completely different meaning. It gives him a lot of options. I actually like that a lot.
All right.
That's kind of exactly what I was talking about with a compound word.
Um,
And if he doesn't use fire or arm, then that rules out that this person was actually bound up and burned, right? Like, which we haven't really ruled out. And he could erase the whole thing.
and then what about the identity? So we could put
Oh,
something like
something-
family.
Oh yeah, foe's identity. Yeah. So what do you think? Through relationship, job, or reputation. So it could certainly just be a fellow criminal, but it could
feel
be
like
more
we also
specific.
said
It could be
we
like
said
brother.
criminal.
It could be
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
something like a familial relationship or something.
If we,
and brother also spells other.
If
if you did brother, you could replace that with father or mother, right? Because it's replace
if we think the
I
secret,
thought it's just a race.
No, it's a race. It's
I
a
thought it was
race.
replace or.
No, it's a race.
if we think the secret,
Erase.
Erase
Yes.
any letters specifically.
if we think the secret was that he had some lover, how do we think that fits into the overall story? Are they who exposed that he was an informant? And if so, is there anything we can do here to help us develop that?
I kind of like brother or mother because if it's brother and they erase the BR, that points
get
to
other.
mother.
Oh.
If they erase the BRO, that points to father. Like
I was gonna say, I feel like it's not in the spirit of it to announce a
no,
code.
no, but no, I'm not even. I'm just thinking.
I mean, I agree. Like,
I was gonna say
in
brother
firearm.
could be, with brother, if you erase the BR, it to me it points to significant other.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's true.
but also like FA in firearm. If you have other. You
I
can
mean-
get to father.
That's true.
Brother.
Oh, that is true. It occurred to me also that even firearm, like if you erase the right letters, could spell farm, right? Like there's
Yeah, there's a
you
lot
can
of
do with it,
options.
Yeah.
So brother seems
I
great.
mean, brother says, yeah. Let's to keep this moving. Let's write brother. All right. And how much time did we spend here? We should mark that.
It's 2.
2 time. Okay. Jordan, erase any of those letters that you would like.
Or maybe they're all perfect.
Yeah, or erase none.
Look back at this.
What a weird, game this is.
I kind of love it. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm enjoying it.
It's totally my
Yeah.
brand of weird cooperative game. I agree. I think the table talk rules are a little weird because you can kind of strategize with what you're expecting.
All right.
Yeah.
So he did go for train.
He went for train. Okay, which is something we haven't actually confirmed in any way. So I think that's
That's pretty good.
valuable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little weird that you could because I think within the letters of the rules, you do exactly what you're saying, which is like hand it to him and be like, okay, if it was his sister, just erase the B, right? Like, but I don't think that's in the spirit of
No,
it.
no, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, he is carefully erasing all but the BTR. All right, well, figure out what to make of that.
I mean, he's not done yet.
No. Is he going to erase the F and the ARM and just leave IRE? Okay.
EA.
So we have train. On the second row, he
Oh,
left EA.
So he was robbing banks because he's an effective altruist, and he was going to give the money to the poor.
Robin Hooding.
we got a real Robin Hood here.
Yeah, back
Yeah.
in 1981.
So he left the EA and BTR. Are these two meant to go together and spell something? Are they
Okay.
like? It's such a
E and
weird.
A, BTR. It feels like these
Yeah.
are combined, right?
Yeah,
Some way,
to
shape,
me-
or form.
Beater.
Baiter.
Baiter.
Yeah.
Also, like,
Train Baiter.
Well, now, Kyle, since this is your card, you place it. I think one place you could put it is just over here in evidence because we don't really have any reason to put it anywhere else.
I mean,
But-
weapon, I guess, could be.
I don't know why we would place it anywhere specific because we simply don't know.
I mean, train being the weapon feels pretty solid at this point.
But it's of no value, right?
The only value is that I do have a card that can allow him to place it later.
So it could still be over here then.
Yeah, but that's never going to be anything. Like, at least weapon, if he moves it somewhere else, will gain information. But if he's like, it's best at weapon, that's fine.
I guess that's true. Okay. Yeah. We
But
wanna just
yeah.
put it by weapon.
bitter.
That seems fine.
it could be he's trying to do, like, better, like it was his boss, his better.
Yeah, that could be. Okay, what else are we playing? So I have It's Elementary. The lead investigator circles any of the letters on the back of this card, which appears to be the whole alphabet. These spell all or part of an underlined word, and the invest, so then I would place it
I can spell all of an underlined word.
by circling the letters on this alphabet thing.
Yeah.
So, like,
it would-
if
So
there's-
we
if
would not
there's-
know if there's double letters. We would
letters,
not know
yeah.
what order they go in.
Right.
It still seems pretty
Still seems
powerful.
pretty good.
And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
honestly, like, Brandon's ability to unscramble, similar to Sherlock Holmes, is pretty good.
We did learn that in our learning game when I got the scrambled word he gave us as the moment it hit the
yeah,
table.
like, literally
Like
within
half
the
a second.
first half second that it hit. Like,
I mean, hell, we had
B,
some-
I like still was reading the letters on the card.
Yeah, I guess I don't need to spoil what that was, but yeah, we had
Yeah,
some
true,
context.
true.
So
Yeah,
we had
yeah,
some
yeah.
context clues that helped too, I'm sure.
Is this the only card we've played this time for 2 times?
Yeah,
correct.
Oh, wow.
It is. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's play It's Elementary. So go ahead and choose one of the underlined words. This is costing us 2 time, and circle all the letters that spell out that
I
word.
think getting the pointing to someone after this feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Because then
Doesn't
we...
it? I feel like we need to be disagreeing on stuff, though.
Well, yeah, but we can still use it in the way we used it in the first game where we're like saying some
Yeah.
things and then getting hints.
Yeah, I did wonder whether that is
did
in the
feel-
spirit of
that
it either.
did feel like
Where
a
basically
little-
at the end of the game, we each delivered our theory so that he could point to the person who was right.
So you have to place that.
I have to place this. Okay. ABEGMNR
Whoa.
is what we got. And without this is harder than just a written scrambled word to like parse here. AB. You said we have note sheets, right? Are those cards made for us to take notes on? Can I just want to like rate this and be able to kind of see it written out. So it's like A, B, E, G, M, N, R.
Man. Could be the end.
Beggar
Man.
Beggar Man. You could
I'm
spell.
sold.
You could spell
Beggarman.
German.
A German?
Okay.
German.
So I guess by your logic, if we let him move things around later, kind
Yeah.
of what he doesn't move is information. So
Yeah.
I'll just throw this by foe's identity.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because maybe the foe is a German.
Or a beggarman.
Okay, I'll keep staring at this. Nothing is immediately jumping out at me for this one, but all right. And we know this is one of the underlined words. It's powerful. This is one of the solutions.
I think it's beggarman.
All right.
Anyone else have a 2? I have an okay 2.
I have 3 ones.
The 2 that I have is that's one I mentioned earlier that lets him give us a word that is not underlined in the story.
Oh, I also
Or if anyone has a good one, we can do that pointing one. Right.
I misread this from memory, as in I remember he can move things around, but it specifically says moves 2 mini cards around, which I assume are just these.
We don't have very
So,
many mini cards.
less good.
Okay.
I think a lot of mine deal with mini cards.
So maybe you want to generate some, in theory.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Steven, you're the one who hasn't played a card yet this round, right? Is there anything
Yeah.
you like?
I can make him draw some more. Do you want to make him draw some more?
I'm always in favor of making Jordan draw.
Alright. The beauty of damage things. The lead investigator.
Oh, but this would be no pointing game this
Yeah.
round.
I think that's fine. I don't think that we really
Okay.
have like a
The lead
basis for him to do
investigator
that.
privately
Yeah.
draws an image of an underlined word centered on the back of this card. Then I choose top, bottom, left, or right. The lead investigator erases that half before placing it in the information area.
Oh my
Insane.
Are there? Oh, and there's like lines on it. Okay, so you're drawing something privately, and then you have to choose whether you want to basically keep the top, bottom, left, or right half of it.
Wow.
Very funny. You can draw
crazy.
anything, but you cannot directly draw the underlined words in this.
No, it
case,
says
right?
to draw an underlined word. I believe it says.
It does say to
Oh, draw an
underlined
underlined word.
word.
Oh, okay. Well, he's gonna need a minute.
This is so hard.
Hey, you're the one who brought this game over.
I know.
Yeah,
I
don't
know what to
complain.
do.
I saw.
I was
the-
like, we would have gotten through another game
Ah.
of cards by now.
Okay, I thought of it. Does it say stick figures or anything? No,
It
it's just
does,
draw an
no,
image.
draw it. You could use more
All
than
the
one line
lines,
even.
yeah.
Yeah.
Points
You can have them overlap, in fact.
I saw the new Final Destination last night. It was good.
Oh yeah, you were
Yeah,
saying.
Final Destination Bloodlines. I don't know how many movies are in that franchise now. I don't know if I saw the last couple, but this was the first one in like 10 years. This is sort of like the soft reboot of it. It was very good.
Ay.
And there's you dropping stuff over there.
Yeah, just my pen.
There's Kyle. We've been talking about how we need to get Final Girl back to the table. There is one of the vignettes, one of the like kind of side scenarios that can mix with any of the locations in the the one that came with season 3 of Final Girl is based on Final Destination.
Oh, fun.
It's called like all of those vignettes are called Terror from something. It's like the zombie one is Terror from the Grave.
Yeah.
I think that there's one that's based on like the Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, and it's like
yeah.
Terror from the Sky or something. This one I think is just called Terror from Destiny.
Oh.
I'm very curious how a board game captures the Final Destination concept, which is that this like invisible concept of death
Yeah.
is causing these like Rube
It's-
Goldberg machine
yeah.
situations to kill people.
Yeah.
Very curious how Final Girl handles that.
I think when we were seeing Sinners, we saw the Final Destination trailer, and I was like, "Oh, that actually looks pretty good."
it was good. Yeah, and
But it wasn't as good as Sinners, I'm sure.
I always liked those
Sinners
movies,
was great.
but Sinners was great.
Sinners
yeah.
was so
I haven't
good.
seen it. I have tickets because they brought it back to IMAX for this week, so I have tickets for Wednesday.
Oh,
Nice.
'Cause
Enjoy.
It wasn't in
Yeah.
IMAX
Did
the
I-
last couple of weeks.
Okay,
I
so I
think I
guess
did see
call a direction. How does it work? You call.
Yeah,
You
so
pick bottom, left, right, or top, and I have to.
I'm gonna
erase
say
that part.
erase the
Okay.
right half.
the right half.
Oh wait, yeah.
yeah.
Erase the right half. Okay, so we're getting the left half of an underlined word drawn. All right. I'm feeling good about this.
Yeah, same.
And then
Okay.
who places it? The lead investigator erases before placing it, so I get to place it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you get to tell us like which underlined word this is.
That's great.
That's very powerful.
Well, wait, let's see. What
Wait
the
until it's
try
like just
is
a
first.
line. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, it's
The secret.
Okay. The secret. It looks like it's a person. A person like looking away from another person. Or is it like that Big Tim was cheating on someone, maybe? Or
Yeah, backstabber. He's a backstabber.
Oh, you're right. That's not an X. That's a person holding a knife in his back while he's looking away.
yeah, totally.
Right? I didn't get that.
Really?
Until you said backstabber. Yeah. Okay. So the secret is that he stabbed someone in the back. The question is that literal or metaphorical?
It looks pretty literal here. But yeah. I knew I was dealing with a backstabber.
So and that's supposed to be the underlined word. So the secret is like backstab, right? Something like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the.
So what context
I want to
would that be the
understand
underlined
the
word?
like.
Yeah.
Like, was it just the other half of the stick figure that existed in this
Yeah.
half, or was there more?
Okay, well,
it feels
that-
very centered.
that
This
is-
gives us everything.
That is our time spent. So I think we go to the.
All right. So
Check
before I
phase.
put these things out, are there more things
Yes,
that you wish
I'm going
to
to do
say?
this.
Okay, what is that?
So Rashid Alvaro, the scholar, write a sentence. The lead investigator can replace or remove one word in order to make it more accurate.
oh, this
okay.
is, yeah.
What
so
sentence are you gonna
I
write?
think I'm going to do Tim betrayed.
Big Tim. Please use his proper name.
Betrayed.
He's gonna replace Tim with Big Tim.
Boss
So if
or a
Tim replaced his boss.
betrayed.
Betrayed.
Oh, betrayed his
For a
boss.
pardon.
For a pardon. Okay. Yeah.
So.
Gives a little bit.
So I
of,
can erase. I can replace one word.
To make it
Or-
more.
Remove or replace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or replace.
I just wonder what, other than boss, I don't know what you could change.
Yeah,
So
I think
that's
changing
what,
boss.
That's what
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Tim betrayed his.
It can't be the underlying word. Probably.
Right. Are there any rules around? Can you use synonyms? Like, are there any rules that like it can't be directly similar?
His crew. Gang.
Betrayed his crew. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
For a pardon. All right. That
So I think-
confirmed our story, I think, more or less. I don't know that we learned too much new here.
No.
Okay, are we doing new
Yeah.
checks then?
Yeah. Do we want to say any more words before he places them down?
I don't think so. Let's just see.
So we have like crew for the foe's identity. We have potentially a family member.
This is still.
I still think Beggarman. Seems pretty good.
Yeah, I wish we could figure out the. I guess I don't know why I'm holding this. It's this.
Yeah.
Because it's not
The
criminal
German
or
men.
rustlers or
Oh, German.
it's not bank
That's what
robbers.
Brent
Yeah,
said.
yeah. It spells a German.
A German.
Oh, and actually, yeah, it does. It doesn't use the B actually if you use it to spell a German, so it's probably not that.
German boys. German.
I
German.
think we can let him.
Yeah, we can
bangers.
let it. We can let
Okay.
it do it. Yeah.
Let him do it.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels like we're not quite
Okay,
on
he's
the spot.
removing X's.
that's
Ooh,
good.
we got the cause and the weapon and the secret.
Whoa.
So it sounds to me like the secret is probably backstab. I
Yeah.
think the picture was very helpful there. You left the identity. Does this mean do you never downgrade this, or does this mean we said it again? The fact that you left identity checked.
I was thinking that I wasn't going to downgrade.
Okay. I don't know what the rule is. We'll just play it the way you're
Yeah.
playing it. Okay.
So we're
So
just
we have the
still-
object, and we think the object is probably it could be lasso. It's probably rope, right?
Probably right.
And then the weapon we think
Wrong.
is.
Oh, okay. It's last. It's last.
Oh,
Nice.
he used one of them. Okay. I forgot everything. You have that.
All right. So you said that it's probably rope. He said wrong. So it is just lasso. We just nailed it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
lasso.
Or
It's
there's
lasso.
something else. Well, yeah, we haven't said any. It's not like we said duct tape or anything.
Yeah,
so,
no, yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
everything.
it's probably,
I think
okay.
it's
It's okay. It's probably lasso.
draw a new card.
Oh yeah. While we draw our new hands, you do key evidence.
Yep.
Okay.
One more key evidence here.
All right. I don't think I'm gonna keep the mini card since we're pretty solid on the one mini card we have.
That's not very useful.
The new key evidence is a wanted poster for a gang.
A wanted poster for a gang. Okay. We said gang before, right?
Yes. Well, I
You
don't
know
if
what? You know what this spells, I think?
Gang member.
Yeah, exactly. Gang member.
Gang member. Okay.
Yeah. I feel like we said gang, but maybe we didn't say
I don't think we
gang
said gang.
I think
member.
I said gang after.
I think we said gang, but I don't think we said
Yes?
gang
Gang
member.
member, I
Yeah.
think, is very
Yeah.
his crew.
So
his
okay, so
gang.
where does that leave us going into this round? We think that they were robbing banks. He was a bank robber, and we've learned here, I think, that he was a part of a gang that robbed banks.
Yeah.
His secret, I guess, was that
that
he
he-
stabbed them in the back
back.
when he.
Wrong.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, to what?
To what I was saying
To
when he
stab
said that
them
was
in the
to
back.
stabbing the gang in the back.
I also
they
said betray, which is similar, but is it important in this game to get the
So
specific
the exact word gives you the green, and then if it's close, you'll get a yellow.
Okay.
So
I
we've-
think green
so
might
we've
be
said
betray
literally the
instead of
word.
backstab.
We said backstab. We said betrayed.
Yeah.
So it's not backstab, but I think it could be a different
We
word.
said
It's-
informant even. In between the two,
Yeah. We definitely said informant.
I've used
but
two
now
of
we've
these now.
we've also
Yeah.
we've
okay.
also
All right. So okay, so that was, I think, really valuable. That the picture, or the half picture that we can see, is not super literal. The word is not backstabbed.
yeah.
Okay, so that was good.
Yeah,
Foe's
'cause
identity,
I
we
do
think,
feel like
is
there is some bit of that.
gang member.
Right,
So
that we didn't see.
a gang member is the one who lassoed him, tied him to the train tracks, and had the train run over him. Right.
Yeah, a
Like
gang member specifically.
so. What's kind of I feel like we're really about there. Does anyone have anything that they think will like help us really double check things? Make sure
I
we
do have
like,
some cards that do that. Hold on, let me see. So I have Ask the Crew, which is kind of funny. We just talked about crew. Write a question on the back of this card that can be answered with a number. The lead investigator writes the correct number on the back of this card, or an X if they cannot, and then the investigator places it, and it's just one time for like a little like hard check on something if we can come up with
Yeah.
a number.
So it could be something like, how many people attacked and killed Big Tim, something like that, right? Like whether it was one gang. I mean, I guess it's gang member, not gang members. But
Yeah. No, I think we have gang member as the.
it's like what question would you suggest?
Yeah, I'm not positive, but to get to the secret.
So this one, I get to choose a category, and then every time I say a letter, and I can say up to 7 letters, the lead investigator writes it in the correct space on the back of this card, matching an underlined word.
Oh, it's
So
got like a
that seems-
hangman kind of thing
Yeah,
going
I
there.
think that seems pretty valuable.
I agree, but where would we put it? Secret?
Maybe secret is kind of what I was
Or
thinking.
cause? Are we confident that it's ran over?
I think it's
I mean, we did say it, so I don't know what else we've said.
over.
I said
Right.
blunt force trauma.
I mean, early on we might have said, shots and stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
we got that in the No. I think you marked that just now. I think we only got that in
Yeah.
the second round. I think
No,
I think
correct.
it's got to be the train and stuff. I don't think we talked about much
Yeah.
else.
But like, do we need like the exact word? Otherwise, we don't get it right, which is a little annoying.
Yeah.
That is the one. I guess criticism I have so far is like in Paranormal Detectives, which is what I've been kind of drawing likeness to. They're like, they have the word in the case, and
Yeah.
then they have like some synonyms, and like you have discretion to be like close enough.
I think you can do that, but like the idea is that each of these is worth 2 points and each of these is worth 1. So it's
So,
like it's
Yeah.
Got it.
All right. Are you guys cool with me playing this?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So 2 time. I'm gonna do secret.
okay.
So 7 letters, and then
So he's going to fill them in.
I play. Yeah. I place the card.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say I.
What do I do if it's not in the word? I go like this.
Or
Yeah, sure, that works.
B.
I guess I just don't place it. Actually, is probably what I do.
Yeah, we just got to
or,
remember how many he said. So he's on. So your second is.
E.
Oh, would you move this up so it's on camera?
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful.
And is this for the secret?
B. Okay, so it's sure pointing to betrayed.
T.
Yeah.
R. A. Y.
Wait.
Or is
Yeah,
that- yeah.
that's everything.
Okay, yeah.
I guess we don't know if it's
Or
betray
we
or.
we
Oh,
have
wait.
7. We have 7.
One more, yeah.
B.
Oh yeah, you hadn't said. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I said letters, so.
Okay,
You can put it by secret.
And if it was betrayed,
It would have had
you would have
another
had
E.
another E there. Okay.
Yeah.
So seems like it's betray. All right. So
Nailed it.
Oh, that's a wait. No, do you write every
what is
time
it?
every letter down?
yeah, it's a good.
Yeah,
question.
it's like
I would
normal
assume so.
hangman
It's like, it
rolls.
seems like it's
Each
hangman.
time you say it, writes it in the correct spaces.
Okay,
Yeah.
So yeah,
just-
if you put a.
Or-
Okay. So it is.
Betray.
Is that,
that's
an
an A. So it seems like betrayal.
betrayal.
Okay.
Betrayal.
Okay. If we're getting it, if we're going to be so strict on ourselves at the end
Yeah.
that betray versus betrayal matters, that we
I just forgot which one it was.
okay,
Okay,
betray,
betray.
betraya. Who knows what the last letter could be? But it looks like it's betraya.
I mean, we didn't need the B. We could have done D, but oh well.
Did you just erase an E and write E?
Yes, because I thought the E was like not clear. Maybe.
Cool. So
Okay.
betrayed.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. So I'm feeling really pretty good. Is there anything we can do to check objects?
I feel like we don't need to.
the other thing is like we're definitely certain that it's a robbery. It's probably a bank robbery, but like if there's anything to like triple check that might be.
And we
good.
didn't really. I mean, I guess unless the
I think
answer is
bank
robbery, in
robber.
which case we're also like probably good.
I
don't-
think bank robber
I guess we,
is very specific.
because I don't think we talked about train robbery in the first round, or we would have technically gotten the weapon.
Yeah, we definitely didn't say
Yeah.
We didn't say train robbery, but that's funny.
Yeah,
It'd be pretty.
If we don't know what we're doing, I have the irregulars, which is just to draw another one of those temporary allies, and we can use it at the end of this round. So we can kind of use some of our time to kick the can down the road on doing something useful. I think.
Even an underlined
Okay.
word.
Okay. Here's what I think we should do before we go any further. I think we should confidently state what each of these is while Jordan has one use of his wrong power remaining.
Do we want to do them in any order?
I think we start with the ones we're most confident in
Okay.
and go down the line, right?
So
Or do we start
feel-
with the ones we're least confident in? Hang on.
Yeah, I feel like we start with the
so-
ones we're least
Least
confident.
confident in.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
he gives us.
So is that identity at this point that we're least confident in?
Identity and object and cause. I guess maybe.
I'm pretty.
I feel
I'm pretty
good
good on
on
weapon. I'm pretty good on
these.
identity,
I'm good on
supposed
this.
identity, and
Yeah,
I'm
these
pretty good on
three
this.
These three I'm super certain on.
yeah.
I'm pretty good on this. I think
Because
probably identity
he
and cause.
already helped us rule out rope
Alright.
there. Okay, so let's start. I think we start with identity then.
Okay.
So we are certain, unless we have some reason to believe otherwise, that he was a bank robber.
Wrong.
So he's a
Very
robber.
confident. A very
robber.
confident.
He's
Yeah, so maybe the bag of money didn't mean bank. Maybe it just meant
Yeah.
robbery. Yeah.
He's- could
So
be a
maybe
train
just,
robber.
maybe he's just a robber.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so do we want to use any of our cards to dig into that anymore? It's a 3. I have a card that lets the lead investigator invent a question about the case, writing it on the back of this card. Which could, communicate a lot of it. If you're kind of just looking for a little hint, like you could form a pretty good hint you can phrase a pretty good hint in the form of a question.
I can also allow the lead investigator to draw a shape with their finger in the air.
Oh, that is very paranormal.
Even
Detectives.
an underlined word.
That sounds useless to me.
Can you finger spell it?
Yeah, it says draw.
This is right.
Yeah.
Draw a shape with their finger, even an underlined word.
That
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
useless to me.
That
I don't
does-
see how
I
would.
agree.
I don't see how I would get much out of that with any confidence. Especially if the question is something like, "Is robbery the accurate term for?" I don't know what you would draw.
Oh my god.
All right, I'm gonna push you guys for a card because I think
Okay.
you're pretty close.
Okay, let's just. I think we play a letter
Okay.
from Watson, right? Because this would let
Yeah,
him.
sure.
Because this would let him write something like, "What's another word for robber?" right? Or something like that. So what this card does, we're
I'm
spending
still
3
like
time.
not positive on the cause.
It lets him write a question about the case, and then he doesn't place it. I do. So he is writing, what didn't he steal?
What didn't he steal?
What didn't he steal?
Did he steal?
I mean, is that actually trying to say that he was just a general, like he stole kind of everything? Like, what didn't that guy steal? right?
just be Robert.
Because
Oh, I see.
Right?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just
Maybe.
like
so he was
a
just,
generic Robert.
Oh, like maybe identity is just criminal.
I think it'd be Robert. It'd be
yeah,
Robert.
it would be
Yeah.
thief or robber.
Yeah.
I feel like
Because
Okay.
also, I don't know if we ever said the word criminal, and we gotta.
we
Yeah.
definitely said criminal
Did we?
early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've used all of these.
I still-
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, early.
All
Alright.
We have
Any
one
other cards
time.
you wanna
Let's see.
One more time.
The only other card I have is one
I
time.
have
It's
the-
that one that can point to someone. But again, I don't feel like we've been disagreeing enough for that to be very.
I have
useful.
Ask the Crew, which we can do numbers, ask a question that can be answered with a number. I have Lead Investigator invents up to 2 materials or substances that they were touching when they died and writes them on the back of this card, which I feel like
Oh.
would just be like steel and
Yeah.
wood,
Yeah.
most likely.
Yep. Steven, you have anything
or a
that-
thread.
Anything that costs one time?
I do.
Oh, and then I have, what's this one do? This is their silently forms their hands, arms, and head into a position and says it is a job, action, or thing. That's crazy.
That's pretty funny. If nothing, for no other reason.
Yeah, we can't think of anything better to do.
Yeah.
That's for sure the nice cap on the video. Use the back of this card to take notes, and then the investigator places it. Job, action, or thing.
Steven, did you have any ones you wanted to suggest?
I do. I could like invent objects like that they were seeing when they died. I don't know if that's that useful.
Yeah.
I have one that can move stuff around. I don't know if that's useful at this point.
Okay. I mean, we could fall back on the old. We each make a guess at what the identity is and put out the arrow thing.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the best we got, right? I'm not sure how much that's in the spirit of this card. Like, I feel like it's a more general. It reminds me of like in Clock Tower, where it's like you get some like, or there's a role that's like the storyteller tells them which team they think is winning, right?
yeah.
Yeah, like we could each pick a synonym for Robert and use this card, right? if that's what we're down to.
I mean, or we can do Shadows of Truth and make him act things out with his head, hands, and arms.
I just don't know what that would. As funny as that would be, I don't know what
Funny.
that would get us. Is it just funny?
Funny. That's what it would get us.
You know, you're right. I'm sold.
Okay, great.
All right.
All right, the lead investigator silently forms their hands, arms, and head into a position and says it is a job, action, or thing.
Oh, okay. Job,
Make
action,
sure you
or
stay in the
thing.
camera shot.
Oh yeah. Okay. This is a job.
A job.
Oh.
It's the robber's mask.
Yeah, it's a mask.
yeah,
okay.
it's that.
I think it's just Robert.
Robert.
I think it's
I
right.
think it's just Robert.
Robert.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so Robert betrayed his gang members for.
And that was our
He
last
was tied up
time.
He was
with
tied
a
up with
lasso.
lasso.
Okay. I think weirdly, I think that actually was maybe helpful because I think that the like robber's mask like narrows down to Robert instead of just criminal to
Yeah.
me. Hopefully,
Okay.
maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or he's an Incredible, and the classic Incredibles mask.
Oh, he was a superhero.
Superhero.
Right. This changes everything. Okay, he saved the people from the train.
Yeah.
And that's why the governor pardoned him.
He stopped the train from falling off the tracks like Superman or Spider-Man.
The wanted poster for this is clearly referring to the Avengers. Oh
All right,
man,
we
all
cracked
right.
this thing wide open in the last minute here.
Okay,
and,
so-
and he can't even say if we're wrong, so we must be right.
One more check phase, Jordan.
Yeah. So we'll just do this.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then
So we've said
one
it
of
all.
you has to say each word as the story goes through, starting with the top one, which is identity.
Okay.
So one of you can do it.
Trust me to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So I think the identity is robber.
Big Tim was a robber who stole and thieved with a gang of outlaws.
Ooh, I didn't realize we'd get real time answers. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Secret has to be betrayed.
He had betrayed his group to the local sheriff in exchange for freedom.
We nailed
Okay.
this.
Okay. I don't know what the governor has to do with that, but foe's identity is gang member.
A fellow gang member had overheard a conversation he had and suspected him.
All right. The object is we're going with lasso. It's lasso.
Yeah.
While out riding, the foe used a lasso to trap Big Tim.
I can't believe that was what I wrote.
Yeah.
You were spot on.
But I made this a lot easier. That was
Yeah.
like the hardest one, I think, to get. You
Nice.
just wrote it, yeah.
Nice. That was just an out of the blue. What is a handheld thing in the Wild West?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the one you pivoted away from, right?
Pivoted away
At
from.
one
you
point
were
you
like-
said rope, and he was like, wrong.
Yeah,
no.
Because I thought maybe lasso was a clue towards.
Yeah.
rope.
Yeah.
I don't remember what else I was considering.
Yeah, I
But,
thought you were considering
Yeah.
something else, but I can't remember.
Weapon, I think, was train,
He was tied up and left on some tracks, then waited for the next train.
and cause, I think, is run over.
When it finally arrived, Big Tim was run over and killed.
Yes.
Yes!
Wow.
Nailed it!
Crushed.
Good job, team. You too. You get it on
Yeah.
this. Yeah, you played a part.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right.
There you go.
So we nailed it, right? 12 out of possible 12 points?
That's right, 12 out of 12 points. You guys did it. And we would score then an ally if we were playing the campaign version of the game.
Yeah,
An ally.
right.
Is it? You have to have a perfect score to get an ally?
You have to have at least 11 points.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
out of 12.
So
But
we-
most
we-
scenarios, or
They're all
all
six.
scenarios have 6
They're all
things. Okay.
So it's like
Yeah.
11 out of 12, yeah.
I am slightly sad that we didn't like use. So when
Well,
we played,
didn't have the,
when we played a game off camera, we let Jordan draw a piece, like draw that person's head and overlay it on the skeleton, which
Right.
was very funny. This was really good.
Yeah, there are different ways that this gets interacted with, and it depends on the cards that come up.
Sure.
I'll say this is also a very easy case. Like, this is case 3 in the book, and there's like 5 different levels of case.
And there's also-
2,
it's
3,
like-
4, 5, and this is like level 1.
And the cover of the book says it's cases like number 1 through 25 or something. There's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
25
great.
in the book. So,
yeah, that's cool. It's a lot
It's
of
a
content.
cool game. This is from DVC Games, we should say, and Jasper Beatrix, Jacob Meyer, and Bobby West. I'm not sure. I think Jasper Beatrix
designer.
is like a design collective. But anyway, that's the designers. And then Kimberlyn Porter is the artist.
Very nice.
See, so Kimberlyn Portland like drew a skeleton. There's not a lot of art.
Well, no, but like...
Oh, there's
cards.
and,
Well,
there-
yeah,
and there's the
there's a ton of
and there's the
art.
investigator
Yeah.
arts too.
Like all
Yeah,
the
that's true.
handwriting
Yeah.
for specific people and things like that.
Yeah. This is super cool. I actually really like the idea of playing this with 5 people, because you said it's 5 characters and the campaign is kind of designed to play it with 5 players and everyone plays the same character the whole time.
Yeah.
But the story of who is the lead or like that varies from case to case.
Yeah, I think you
And
could
so-
do that, and like that makes sense. There's no explicit thing that says to
Oh,
do that in
okay,
here, but I think you could. But the other thing is maybe it's fun to change investigators because you get different types of information
true.
that you go out.
Yeah.
So maybe you want to mix it up.
I mean,
It's kind of loose.
yeah, because if you're playing with 5 players, it's all
the
it's all
investigators.
there every game.
Right.
So it's just who is the one holding literally each hand of options.
Right,
Is all
who's-
that would really change.
That's true. And
Yeah.
well, one investigator's cards will be out because they'll be the lead.
True, true.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're the one telling the story.
Right. They're the one telling the story.
I wonder if there's any. I wonder if there's any craft to that in the design of the cases. If they're like, okay, the person telling this story is the one who has the card that would have really been made it easy.
I bet there
Right,
is
like-
because
Yeah.
they do like assign lead investigator.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do it for every case, but they definitely do it for the first.
Right, because like
Oh, no. Interesting.
because like it was the investigators do feel pretty different in the types of things that they focus on. Like one of them was very like seancey or something almost, and could have Jordan reenact like the person's last words, right?
Yeah.
That type of thing. So I could
That was
see
Catherine,
you giving that person cases where that would be too much of a giveaway. So give it to that person, and therefore that card isn't in the game almost. Right?
So the way this book is set up, the first 5 cases, I guess, are like the intro ones.
Oh,
And
okay.
they each have each investigator as lead once.
Sure.
And then after that, there's no assignments anymore.
oh really?
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
So,
So anyone can. Okay.
anyone can be the lead after that. Yeah.
Very.
Oh, so you can
very
approach each
interesting.
case with any combination of
Right.
of these abilities.
Right.
Okay. Very cool. This was a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks you guys for trying
Yeah.
it.
Thank you all.
Thanks for.
Thank you for joining us. I promise we didn't spoil very much of what's in here. There's 24 other cases, so so check it out if this looked fun to you, and check out other videos on Optimal Play. Subscribe so that you see when we post new stuff. We play a variety of games constantly. Jordan is also a co-host of the Game Brain podcast,
That's
so
right.
you can check that out on where you get your podcasts. It's
Anywhere.
on all the things.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
solid.
yeah. I've listened to it on Spotify, but you do you. I don't think anyone else has any plugs. No.
Come
No?
see Newsies.
Going once, going
and,
twice. Oh yeah, Kyle's in a local performance of Newsies, so
Come
Type
in.
Newsies into the internet, and Kyle might be there.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we can put a link to get tickets if you want.
Yeah, if you want to come see Newsies, I'm Jack in all of June, and
Is it clear on the channel where we live? I just don't know.
it's in Simi Valley, California.
We've referred to being in Los Angeles pretty constantly.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, and now I'm going to tell you Kyle's address.
Yeah.
So it is. Get your pens out. No, but yeah. If you
I don't live in Simi Valley, but I do perform there.
I was about to like make a joke address, but I won't do it.
123 Fake Street.
421 Simi Valley.
Warner's Road or something.
Anyway,
Horrible.
I'm gonna get us out of this. We'll see you on the next video or at Kyle's show maybe. Until then, be optimal.